don't know me, my name is Sarah, and for a little bit, I want you to imagine what you think of Jesus. Close your eyes and picture what he's wearing, what he looks like, his personality, the people around him, everything. I'm not sure about you, but I think of this deity sitting up high on a golden throne, and around him are all his disciples. He's wearing a purple robe, and I strive to impress this deity, but I also fear his judgment of me if I do wrong. This is my image of Jesus, and this may be completely different of yours, but I have another. I think of Jesus as a young man. He's about 30 years old, and he has a white robe on. And the bottom of his robe is tinged brown because of all the dirt and dust he walks through every day. And around him are his 12 disciples, and he's opening his arms up to you. And the corners of his eyes and of his mouth are wrinkled, like he smiled a lot. And you just get this feeling of warmth. And you know that he's welcoming you. He's welcoming everybody who wants to join. And you know that if you stray from your path, from God's path, he will be there to help you, and he will be there every step of the way. When you're listening to this gospel and when you're thinking about it, that's the Jesus that I want you to picture. So, in this gospel reading, Jesus is being persecuted because he's being accused that he's claiming he's the king of the Jews. Now, he's in this position because his own disciple, Judas, betrayed him. But even still, he knows the outcome, but he stands up and says his faith, what he believes in, the truth. So, he's being persecuted. Have you guys ever been persecuted for something that you didn't do or something that you knew was right? I know I have. But take a second to imagine what it would be like to devoting your life to one cause and doing what's right, to have someone come along and say that what you're doing isn't right and that it's unlawful or unjust. Then, not only is he being persecuted, but he was betrayed by his own disciple, Judas. He welcomed Judas, and to be betrayed like that must have hurt. But despite all that, he stands up and he says, "This is my faith. I am king of the Jews if you wish to believe so." So he says that he's a king of another realm. But in this gospel reading, Jesus acknowledges that this is his life's purpose. He's born to proclaim the truth and born to die for our salvation. Now, in daily life, we face problems like these. I know that I've been in situations where, let's just say, somebody was getting bullied. I know that all of you kids probably have, and all of you adults in school, at the workplace. And maybe you were the bystander and looking at someone who is bullying this one person. And you were thinking to yourself, you were conflicted. What do you do? Or maybe you were the person getting bullied. Or even worse, you were the person who was bullying someone. And you have to catch yourself. So, now, what do you do or say when something like that occurs? Now, there was this time when I was in 6th grade, and I was at recess, and I stumbled upon a semi-large group of peers, some of whom I had called friend previously. And they were all making fun of this one girl. Some of the stuff they were saying was so mean. But this one girl, I didn't like her either. That girl that they were making fun of, she had bullied me. But I stormed out. I was super angry with what they were doing. This wasn't right, so I stormed out and I told somebody about it. But in that moment, I was conflicted. All the things they were saying about her were true. She had been mean to me, and as much I am ashamed of this, I wanted to go along with them. I was tempted to go along and to say really mean stuff about her as well. And because she had been mean to me, why shouldn't I? But in that moment, I knew that I couldn't. I would never look at myself the same way again. So now, in our daily life, we have to strive to do the right thing, just as Jesus had done in this gospel. But how do we identify the right thing? And how do we find the courage to then do it? These are questions that I ask myself every day when I'm faced with these things. But the way that I find is best is to look forward 15 or 20 years and to think about what the outcome might be if, in this example, I go along and I bully her. What will I think of myself, and what will be the outcome then 20 years? And then I go to the other choice. I think, well, what will I do if I stand up to them? And I think 15 or 20 years later, and I choose the best one. So whether you stray from your path or whether you do the right thing, know that God is with you every step of the way.
Amen.